Hey guys, Chaps here, and let's talk about Operation 2. Operation 2 launches in early to mid-December, and we're probably going to be seeing some information about it very soon. I'm guessing next week. So I figure now's probably a good time to discuss my thoughts and expectations for Operation 2. And then I guess we'll see how closely it aligns with reality once stuff is announced. Before we get into things, I just want to apologize. I'm feeling a little sick, so my voice is kind of off, and I also want to apologize for the gameplay. I haven't actually recorded it yet, but I can apologize in advance knowing it's going to suck. I have not been playing Xbox very much recently. Based on the image roadmap, we know that Operation 2 comes with new versus modes, new maps, escapes, and builder tiles, new characters, weekly events and hives, and then a bunch of other customization content. So let's break each of these down. It says versus modes, and that kind of implies that there's going to be multiple new modes. My guess is that we're only going to see one new mode, and then maybe some variations of an existing one. Pre-launch, there was discussion of arcade having variants, so I imagine that's going to be one of the modes that they're talking about. Probably a Arcade King of the Hill. Imagine taking the same arcade that we have now, with the skulls and upgrades and stuff, but instead of TDM, we now have King of the Hill. That's nothing to get super excited for, but I think the actual new mode we're getting is going to be free-for-all, that's going to have a lot of people pretty excited. We've had Rod tweet this out, and to be fair, he's done that for plenty of things, so that doesn't say much. We've also had Dana say things like this on the dev stream.
Someone said, can you tell us the amount of maps being added in the next tour? And no, because there's some uniqueness that we can't talk about.
What you tell me that I can't say anything, and you're like.
I didn't say anything. I just said there's some uniqueness. The new map is. One of them is really cool. They're all cool, but one of them is really, really cool.
You keep talking like you told me I couldn't talk about it, and now you're like, I'm just going to keep talking about it.
No, okay, we're done.
Or we had Ryan say this.
When are we talking about Operation 2? Because someone's asking, what are you personally excited about for the future of Gears 5?
We're going to talk about Operation 2 in a couple weeks.
Right. So
we need assets.
It's coming out in December, right?
It's coming out in December. We're going to start getting people excited about it in.
I really want to talk about what's in Operation 2.
You don't even know how much I want to talk about what's in Operation 2.
So
Preach.
So when can we do that?
Mid-November.
Again, this doesn't really confirm anything, but I do feel that it's leaning towards free-for-all. I mean, saying stuff like, oh, we're super excited to talk about that, yeah, they can do that for anything, but saying that these maps have a very unique type of style to them or something, I kind of feel like that's leaning towards free-for-all. And let's be honest, with the state of the game at this point, they really need something that's going to blow people's minds in order to get people to come back. Let's move on to the map section. For versus maps, I don't think anyone can really say what to expect. The Coalition has been very outspoken about creating new content and not doing remakes, so I imagine that these are all going to be new maps. I mean, can you imagine the community's reaction if the first batch of DLC maps that they put out are remakes? I don't recall there being any sort of announcement as to how many maps, but I'm gonna guess 3 or 4. I'm leaning towards 4, but that just might be me being hopeful. I mean, personally, I'd love to see more than that, but if I'm being realistic, I'm guessing 4 maps. Let's assume I'm right and that there's 4 maps, and if we also assume that free-for-all's coming, then I expect that we can see some maps reflect this. This sort of goes back to what they said previously, about some of the maps needing to be different in order to account for the new modes. I don't think there's going to be Judgment-like maps that were designed around free-for-all, but I do think that we're going to see these maps lean more in that direction. I would suspect 2 or 3 maps are designed with free-for-all in mind, and then the other 1 or 2 maps to be a traditional map that would work well with esports. The next item is Scape Hives. Looking back at this image, it's kind of funny. They put that on here twice. Maybe I'm missing something? Anyways, this is another one where it's really hard to guess what they're going to be showing us. I'm sure it's going to be something fresh, so there's not really any use speculating. They're doing a really good job of putting these out. As for the map builder tiles though, what do you guys think we're going to see? My friends threw out the ideas of the worm theme from Gears 2 where you're inside the giant worm, a hollow theme like you're down in the hollow, even that Gears 4 chain and industrial type theme. All of those sound amazing to me, and I hope we get some of those in, if not this operation, maybe a future operation. I'm really hoping that we don't just get some new themes, but we also get some new tile types that encourage new playstyles. The other big thing on the list of known changes are the characters. We know that we're getting some new heroes. Not only that, but for balance purposes in arcade, I assume that any new hero needs to be countered by a villain. I think one of the biggest shocks to the community at launch was the lack of Delta Squad, mainly the fact that we don't have Baird, Cole, Dom, or any form of Carmine. It was said previously that the mid-operation addition of characters we had in Operation 1 was not something we should expect in the future. Because of that, I would anticipate that the major character drops for Operation 2 would all be coming at the start of the operation. If this is supposed to hold us over for 3 full months, I would expect us to be getting about 4 heroes, at minimum. And yeah, that means 4 villains as well. As I kind of mentioned earlier, I think that we're going to get Dom, Baird, and Cole. I also think that we're going to get Carmine in some form, but I'm not sure what that will be. We've seen Lizzie in a trailer before, so maybe we'll get her. Maybe we'll get a generalized Carmine character, and each of the siblings is just a skin, though I feel the community wouldn't take that too well. So for now, my prediction is Dom, Baird, Cole, and Lizzie, with maybe another Carmine coming later in the operation. To counter them in arcade, we need some villains. Mira, Scourge, Cantus, Theron, Locust Drone, the list goes on. There's so many good choices. I'll also mention that a Gears 5 Reyna would be pretty cool. I suspect that we'll see Mira and Locust Drone as 2 of the choices. As for the other 2, I'm not really sure what to be expecting. I would say Cantus and Theron, but I don't know if they really want to throw out all these big gun characters in a single update. No matter who they are, I still believe that 4 heroes and 4 villains is basically the minimum number that we should be expecting. Let's see how TC delivers though. The last thing on this list are the basic week-to-week cosmetic items and special events. I don't really have too much to say on this front. I imagine it's going to be quite similar to what's been going on so far. It's not like they need a new operation to change up how they do these things. If they were going to make a change, they probably would have done it already. There's no point pissing people off and making them wait until Operation 2. But enough of that, what about the other changes coming in Operation 2? Will the store change? I doubt it. Well, I doubt it will change in a significant sense. I'm sure that sometime during Operation 2 we'll start to see a shift from how TC likes to handle things in the store, but I don't think a full overhaul people are hoping for will be coming anytime soon. As for the tour of duty and medal system, they've told us that they're making changes based on feedback. I suspect the changes are going to be as follows. 1, we're going to have more meaningful content in the tour of duty. 2, the medals will have more PvP tabs. 3, once you reach max rank, stars will be used to get XP. 4, we'll see a reward for getting 100% of the medals and tour ranks. 5, medal rewards will better reflect the mode. And number 6 is we're probably going to be seeing some balancing to the star level of challenges. Other than that, I think things will largely be the same. We'll still get the daily challenges, we'll have many of the same medals and challenges of Operation 1. People who grind daily will still finish within a month or so. Oh, and people are still going to complain about it. I don't suspect that they're going to knock it out of the park with this first iteration, but hopefully they show signs of moving in the right direction. The last change I wanted to mention was them finally making Horde and Escape characters available in both modes. We know this is coming, but we've had no word as to when. I don't think this is something we're going to see right when Operation 2 launches, but this is something I suspect we'll be seeing sometime within Operation 2. As I've said before, Operation 2 is going to be really important for the longevity of this game. Nothing will be perfect, and people will certainly complain about stuff, but TC really needs to show some significant strides in the right direction. At this point, a combination of things is needed. Not only do they need to show that they're understanding the feedback and willing to improve things, but at this point in the game, they really need to have something to show for it. So, those are my thoughts. But what do you think we'll be seeing? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. While you're down there, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching everyone, and I will catch you next time.